Suchan. He's been tracking the storms for us now for several days. Chris, are we finally going to get a tad bit of relief tonight?
Tonight we will, yes, but we're not done with the potential for some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. And in fact, the National Weather Service did extend the flood watch now to 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. And so you see this does include the Hill Country and Bexar County, and it certainly includes counties up to our north, which has also seen quite a bit of flooding here over the past couple of days. Now tonight, we're not worried about anything in the way of downpours or lightning popping up on us here. A little bit like last night in our region where it was really pretty quiet outside of a sprinkle or two. Of course, you have the bats that are being picked up here on radar. But we are settling into a pretty just cool, humid July night. And I say cool was the 70s. We didn't even get to 80 today in San Antonio. The rainfall, well, the western side, not much. Just enough to get the streets wet and a couple puddles. The east side, that's where you saw some big rain there in Converse, over 2.5 inches of rain. Timberwood Park to Kinder Ranch and Bulverde. As you go across Cibolo Creek, that was a zone of 3 to over 4 inches of rain up here. We had some flash flooding in this area. East side of Lavernia, over 2 inches of rain. And there, of course, you have New Braunfels. That was on the northwest side of town where we had 5.5 inches of rain. And Seguin was the big total of the day today. That was on the east side of Seguin where we had over 8 inches of rainfall, and we had those flash flooding issues early in the day. That was the highest amount for the day for round 2. Of course, today we were worried about some additional flash flooding that we would see in our area, but this time it would be probably the I-35 corridor, Bexar County or east, and that's where it did in fact set up. And there you see again the heavy rain that was south of the dam. That's why we had some flooding today in New Braunfels. It was not the Guadalupe River flood coming in from Kerr County. That, of course, is being contained by Canyon Lake, which is the flood control lake here. So all that flooding was from the heavy rain below the dam, but all those river levels have subsided too here. That's the nature of flash flooding. It's only going to rise and sustain as long as the rain is producing it. But once the rain shuts down or lets off on the intensity, the flash flooding rapidly dissipates as well. Here's a check of the river levels tonight. Kerrville is at 761. Comfort still over 1,000 cubic feet per second. That number in Spring Branch now is below 10,000, just at 7,350 cubic feet per second. You can see in New Braunfels, your river level now is below 1,000 cubic feet per second. And here in the Medina River, we still have strong flow into Medina Lake, where Pipe Creek, though, is now at 954 cubic feet per second. I want to get you a lake check here. And the official data now on Canyon Lake is the equipment has malfunctioned. So that was as of 12:30. So I do not have an updated reading for you on this, but compared to 2 o'clock in the morning today, up about 6 feet, over 6 feet. Medina Lake now is up over 6 feet from 2 o'clock this morning. And I do want to note that Lake Travis is up substantially too. It's up about 14 feet from earlier this morning. So we still have that rain chance, the flood watch. The reason why is we have the remnant trough axis right here. In the atmosphere, it just needs to reload. It's been worked over again. It'll do that tonight, but what will happen is this axis will begin to shift west. So my feel is that this area here is going to be primed for some showers and storms tomorrow. And notice that does include the western hill country into the Edwards Plateau in Valverde County in our far western tier. And I want to show you one of the computer models here. This is the HER model, doing a great job. It's been a very reasonable model here for the past few days as I've been forecasting the event and getting you through it. So I continue to have a lean on this particular model. You see in the morning, there isn't really much. That's about 3 or 4 in the morning. But then with some daytime heating, the trough axis is activating once again with showers and storms. That is at 2 to 2:30. And then watch the trend here. You see they begin to sink south into the hill country. Now, this is not a repeat of what we had Thursday night into Friday, but you could get in some of these pockets rainfall rates that do tick up 1 to 2 inches per hour if you do get a heavy core. And it wouldn't take much in this area after all that water we have seen, super saturated, to get a quick little burst of some flooding before it quickly shuts down. So you just have to be on alert for that. And of course, we're thinking about all those crews that are out working. This could be a bit of a situation that they have to work through or around or wait for it to pass. And so we have that tomorrow. And then we have another kick of some showers and thunderstorms in Monday's forecast out west. This is what's left of that remnant trough axis and little area of low pressure. And we may get one or two of them into Bexar County before the day is done. So total rainfall, I think that this could be a little underdone in some cases. In this case here, I'll ask you to use the color table that I have. You see a blue shading, that's a ½ inch or more of rain. That's a better indicator to kind of give you an idea. That purple shading is 1.5 inches of rain. And so, portions of this area over the course here of the day tomorrow into Monday could still pick up some additional rain on those areas that have been in flood here. I'll share our in-house computer model and the extended forecast beyond. That'll be coming up after the break. We're back right after this.